Hello, this is Mr. Gregorich with Unit 2 Measurement, Lesson number 4 on the metric system. And this is Part 1, Video 1 for Lesson 4. So in this video, we're going to define measurement. And measurement is a method of describing objects or events using numbers and units. So we could describe an object like a book by how thick it is. We're using numbers and a unit, so we have to define what the unit represents. We could describe an event. We use time for that. And throughout history, there have been a lot of different systems of measurement, and we're going to kind of just go through a little bit of the history of it and describe some different kinds of measurement, because we can convert from one system to another, but we have to define what things are. So we're going to lump a lot of them into one category and call them early. And there really weren't a lot of rhyme or reason why people had certain types of measurement, but there are lots and lots and lots of different types of measurement. And these sometimes are based on royal body parts. So a foot might have been the size of a king's foot, okay? Or a yard was how much distance there was from the king's outstretched hands. So they could be based on that. Or assigned by a leader. But these had a lot of problems. They were not consistent. And as the human population grew and cities started to trade, they were not reliable. And it hurt trading practices, because if two different cities both had a foot, but one was bigger than the other, there could be a lot of problems with that and a lot of bickering and maybe even some violence. So people started to think, as more and more people traded, we need a system of measurement that is a little bit more consistent, that we can rely on, that a pound here and a pound there, or an ounce here and an ounce there are going to be the same measurement, and people don't feel like they're getting cheated. So we have the customary system, sometimes called the English system. And this standardized some early system units. So we use this system. We have a foot, we have a mile, we have gallons. Those are standardized. So if I have a gallon in the state of Pennsylvania, I know that if I buy a gallon of something in California, it's going to be the same. Or if I go to a country that still uses the English system, I know that a gallon is a gallon. So the only bad thing about this system, it's hard to memorize. There are no real patterns to the units. Take, for example, there are 12 inches in a foot, there are 3 feet in a yard, there's 5,780 yards in a mile, which means there's 5,280 feet in a mile. Where's a pattern to that? Or there's 2 cups in a pint, 2 pints in a quart, but there are 4 quarts to a gallon. Why aren't there 2 quarts in a gallon? That would make much more sense. So you just have to memorize those things, and it can be rather hard. So back in 1799 in France, another system, the SI system, which stands for Système International, which is French, we tend to call this the metric system. It's developed, and again, you don't need to know that date. It's 1799 in France. So we're looking at right at the birth of the United States, or not too long after. And it's based on 10. So all the units are based on the number 10, which since our number line and our decimal system is based on 10, it makes it really easy. It's almost universal. Almost all the countries in the world use this system. The largest country that does not use this is the United States. It is used in science, which is why we're learning the metric system, because it allows us to communicate on the same level with the same measurements from country to country. And this is really important since we are becoming more globalized, that we are able to communicate easily with the same measurements and the same values. And we have a system of base units and prefixes. So you have a handout that's on purple towards the back of this packet, and it looks like this. We're going to learn how to use this, but this has base unit and it has prefixes. And we'll refer to this here in a couple minutes. So we're going to talk a little bit about these different measurements, the base unit, the symbol that's used, and instrument. And this is going to be for the metric system. So length and distance, our base unit is the meter. The symbol is a little m. And we use either a meter stick, please do not say a yardstick, or a ruler to measure length or distance. Mass is gram. Its symbol is a little g. And an instrument is either a balance or a scale. Volume is liter. It is a capital L because a lowercase l looks like a 1. And in lab, we use a graduated cylinder to measure that. And there's a little mark here. We have a little thing here. Whenever we have a measurement, a 1-letter symbol refers to a base unit. Meter, gram, liter. They're all one symbol. If we have a 2- or 3-letter symbol, we have a prefix plus the base unit. So we have a lot of prefixes that are on this chart. So here is our base unit. Here we have our meter, liter, and grams. If we get smaller than our base unit, we're in this direction. And it's 10 times smaller each time you move. So 1/10 is a decimeter, liter, or gram. 1/100th is centa. 1/1000th is milli. So there are 1,000 millimeters in 1 meter. 4 and 5 we don't use. 6 is micro. And we're going to actually extend this out 1, 2, 3 more. And we're going to put an N right here for nano. So N is that one. Because that one is used a lot anymore. So this is 10 to the negative 9, which is 1 billionth of a meter. If we go bigger than the base unit, so 10 meters are in 1 decameter, 100 is hecto, 1,000 is kilo, and then if we go up to a million, it's mega. And we're actually going to go out 1, 2, 3 more and put giga, which is a capital G. Terms like mega, giga, even tera are used in computers for storing data. Those actually have values. So a byte would be a base unit. So gigabyte is 1 billion bytes or pieces of information. So this is 1 billion. I want to put that up there. So our next video is going to look at how we can convert using this chart.